Hello there Indie Warriors, this is Jay with I Dream of Indie, and today we are taking a look at Cloudgardens on the Nintendo Switch. Cloudgardens is a 3D sandbox puzzle game set in the literal clouds, in what seems to be a post-apocalyptic world. Developed by Noio and published by Coatsink, Cloudgardens is a peaceful game where balance between nature and man-made things is the main focus. In Cloudgardens, there is not really a set plot or a story. Instead, you work your way through puzzle levels in the single-player campaign called Overworld, or you decorate to your heart's content in the creative mode. This game is a completely relaxing experience where you become a plant parent and grow a variety of plants above the clouds by planting seeds and placing objects around them to promote their growth, while creating an overgrown landscape to the sound of relaxing lo-fi music and the atmosphere around you. And as I mentioned, this game seems to have no plot, but you are playing in what seems to be an abandoned version of our world. The humans and the animals other than birds are gone, but their objects have been left behind. Abandoned cars, beer bottles, shopping carts, and even small children toys among what seems to be an infinite catalogue of objects left to discover and placed around. With this, even though there was not a written script, I was left to wonder and even create a narrative for every level that I was playing in, which made this game a little bit more interesting than what it offers at face value. There is no dialogue in Cloudgardens, as you are the sole character of this game, represented by an almighty hand that manipulates these objects and everything around. Now, the main gem of this game is in the sound. It has a soundscape created by Amos Roddy, who is also known for composing Kingdom. In the sound department, this game truly delivers in the relaxing experience that they are trying to provide. For example, this game has very lo-fi tunes that let you disconnect and let your mind take a breather, while also creating an experience where you plant things. For example, you plant a cactus and you'll hear a very beautiful composition of a string instrument, and every time your cactus grow, you get to hear and you get to know which of your plants is growing and has new seeds for you. Cloudgardens has a serene 3D art style with rich colors presented in a first-person view and complemented by a wide library of plant seeds, objects to place around, and some birds flying over to keep you company above in the clouds. The camera, although quite free and easy to move around, did represent a big problem in terms of control and being able to be effective while enjoying this adventure. As far as gameplay goes, this was the part where I felt the most disappointed. The controllers were a little bit janky, with things not really landing where I wanted them to land, and the camera angles moving around all the time. It took me a solid 30 minutes to try to get used to the gameplay itself. It wasn't as satisfying as the rest of the elements were. After a while, I really felt myself simply wanting to unlock elements and finish the game. The puzzles themselves felt a little bit arbitrary, since the only thing needed was to place things around for more seeds to sprout, but with the added pressure that if any of the objects fall on a piece of foliage, this would make it break, while making you lose both the aesthetic you might have been trying to create and some of the progress you already achieved. This game reminded me a lot of Dwarf Romantic, in the sense that you are creating a landscape through puzzle pieces and exploring your creative side, only in this case there were no real goals, and at points it made the experience quite frustrating instead of being relaxing. The main map for Cloudgardens consists of more than 50 levels, and that can range from rooftops to train tracks to highways and junkyards, with some of these levels being more complex and comprising of 2 or 3 sections that connect with each other. The time for completion is very varied in this game, since there is not a time limit and the only constraint to moving forward is having to fill up the percentage. In creative mode, you are able to use all of the elements and plants that you unlock through the main levels to be able to create your own landscapes to your heart's content. For this review, I played Cloudgardens on my Nintendo Switch, and I only experienced dropped frames when I was playing in the docked mode. In handheld, the game's aesthetic was very pleasing, and the color palette, consisting mainly of pastel colors, created a very calming atmosphere, which I really enjoyed while listening to my favorite podcasts and music. Cloud Gardens for the Nintendo Switch is available on June 16, 2022, and it supports TV mode, tabletop mode, and handheld mode. This game was also previously released on PC through Steam on September 1st, 2021. The settings menu is quite accessible and comprehensive, making this one of the most personalized cozy games I have played recently. Some of these settings range from being able to auto-grab items to show birds, the amount of input hints you can receive, volume levels, photo mode settings, whether objects make plants grow, and enabling the selection of objects in creative mode. A handy feature that this game presents you with is also the ability to fully remap the controllers while on the Switch to whatever helps your style better. There are many save slots available, along with a handy autosave feature that utilizes separate slots too, in case you feel like going back to a previous level without having to check all over the map. I truly wish I could have enjoyed this game more. The atmosphere and the theme of Cloud Gardens really resonated with me, as I do love the sight of abandoned buildings and nature reclaiming its space. However, the frustrating controls and not being able to have a real handle on how the camera moved most of the time really made me long for other cozy games where I could feel like I had more control over what was happening on the screen, and being able to let my thoughts exit my mind for a night and being able to relax and unwind.
Thank you so much for supporting clickbait-free content here at I Dream of Indie. We would now like to take a moment to shout out our brave indie warriors and legends that help support us through channel memberships. At the Indie Warriors tier, we have Bill, Christian Cruz, Adriana Amato, CJR, PSC, Julian Kolbis, Jesse, Ray Lynn, Marky Mint, Dave Hart, Peekaboo, Lex Noyle, Strict9, and Chic Geek. At the Indie Legends tier, we have Jen Rose, Larkison, Mitchell Hall, Skeptism, C. Coyle, Nathan Moore, Chris Jackson, Mr. W, Blue Francis 14, The Beefarinis, Business Cody, Carmen Red, Jace Glover, King of the Hatch, Ophidian Mind, and Lord Metroid. Thank you so much for all that you do for independent developers, publishers, and for I Dream of Indie. Head on down to the description box below. Let's defeat the gaming echo chamber and bring a voice to the voiceless ones in gaming.